Hey there, Ron Sullivan here, your online hitting consultant. Thank you for joining me for episode 2 of learning how to switch hit. This is on the right. I think as far as progressions go, this is the direction you need to go first, right? And that we're going to continue what we were learning as we were in a seated position, but now we're going to use the ground a little bit better. Okay, and so when I say that, I know that everybody's thinking, well, what is he talking about? He's got his feet together. Well, this is to me how we could learn to stay a little bit, to continue to develop the upper half coordination, okay, just like you were doing on the bucket. But with the ground, I want you to watch this subtle little move that I do before I take off. Right there, right? And so this is going to be a real struggle. If I told you to just try to get into a batting stance on the left side right now, you would not make a good weight shift. All right, now it's just assuming that you're not you don't normally hit on the left side of the plate. I'm convinced that if you tried to do it right now with your feet normal, you would end up spinning around in a circle, something along those lines. And you see right here how I make a nice little, I kind of sit into that front side and then drive. The whole point to this is I'm trying to find leverage into this front side as close as my feet are together, right? It's still important that we understand how important it is to find leverage into the ground. And most importantly, we're trying to disconnect. I want the player's upper half to drive from the ground. I don't want you right now twisting the hips around to pull your hands around. Okay, so continue to learn the upper half sequence the way you're doing here, feeling that nice long extension with the bottom hand. Let the top hand be along for the right as long as you can. Okay, but continue working on this feeling, but just stay on the ground. Don't worry about being explosive here, trying to hit it really hard or swing it really hard, right? We're just trying to feel coordinated movements as much as possible. You could do, excuse me, after this, you could move just like you did on the bucket. You could put the baseball in your hand, try to feel a little bit a quicker move over the top of the tee, just like we were doing with the baseball. And then if you would like, move to something. I love this. This is a heavy mallet, right? So it's, I say heavy, it's 16 ounces. You can find them at Home Depot for about $5. Okay, and so now we're putting something in our hand that's something, it's similar to a baseball bat, a little closer anyways, but we're still working on the same feeling and the same movement. Notice in this case I have my top hand around my body. But the main thing that I want you to see here is how, again, all of the work is being done with that bottom hand. Lots of extension, staying on the ball, right? Not turning my body so that so I can bring around the hammer, right? I'm still, and so basically, as you see here, it looks like I'm kind of hammering through as far as possible. Now you can let this extension go, right? Or you can let the follow through go to, whatever finish you're kind of normally doing right now with the heavy ball. I stopped short here just to emphasize that my goal is not to spin around with the hammer in my hand. My goal is to stay nice and leveraged into the ground, right there. I'm in the ground. And you can see my hips are actually a little bit behind my hands, and that's fine for this drill. Okay, I'm not worried about how well you used your legs here. We're just wanting to make sure that we're feeling nice and secure and firm into the ground when we're doing it, so that our upper half is not dependent on a spinning lower body, right? That our upper half is dependent on finding ground force, and that's all stuff that's coming, okay? As far as the next episode, it would be one thing to teach you the same swing over and over again, but what I'd like to do is teach you something similar to what I'm doing here on the left. But what we're going to do is we're going to start making adjustments. Okay, I need you to start moving the tee location around and start concentrating and focusing on making an adjustment with your hand, or with that bottom hand. So that when we get an outside pitch, we're not completely clueless. We're not, I've done this same move 1,000 times, right? And well, there's an outside pitch. I'm not going to be able to get it. So we want to be able to make adjustments with our hands as much as we want to just have a perfect swing every time. We need to be able to take our hands in the direction where the ball is. Okay, so that will be episode 3. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.